You know, fam, I have lost so many hours into Palworld. It's not even funny anymore. I kid you not. During like maybe the weekend previously, when the game came out, just magically dropped out of nowhere. I shouldn't say really out of nowhere, but you know, because everybody said it was going to be released that day. But I streamed it, and I'm going to tell you right now, that is the longest game I've ever streamed that I've actually enjoyed streaming. Besides playing Redfall for those long 8 gruesome hours, and everybody knows how that stream ended, but Palworld has just been gripping its claws into me, and I've been enjoying it like a lot generally. But unfortunately, some people, and some people that shouldn't be named, have not been really enjoying Palworld and its existence in in this instance. But I mean, I'll be completely honest with you guys. I'm not really surprised with this certain person's reaction to, well, I should say Palworld, because, well, he's been pretty much with the same Twitter tards online saying, Palworld's a ripoff of Pokemon, even though Palworld is so much more than just a Pokemon ripoff in this instance. But like I always say, before we dive right into this content, guys, please make sure to go grab yourself a nice little drink and a nice little snack. And hey, if you enjoy this type of content, please leave a like and comment in the comment section. I always like talking to you guys. And hey, if you want more of this type of content, please subscribe to the channel. But besides all that sellout stuff, let's just go ahead and dive right into this video, fam.
With the shilling of Palworld in full force, I thought it was about time that we really take a step back and kind of talk about what's been happening when it comes to these random meme games, as I call them.
Let's not even talk about Palworld right now, okay, Harmon? Whatever you have done with the way you make videos, please go back to the way it is. Maybe get a better mic, but this new setup, how you record yourself, please, for the love of God, go back to it. But anyway, back onto the main topic. Hopefully, Harmon, you're not going to repeat the same thing that the Twittards have been saying on fucking Twitter all day long. Let's just pray to God he has something original coming out of his mouth for once.
PC exclusives, usually, that come out, usually at reduced prices, that kind of take the internet by storm for like a brief couple of weeks. They're the biggest thing ever for the month, and then they just kind of fall off the face of the earth.
Isn't this what you said about like Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring, and so many other games that I've lost track that ended up being Game of the Year? And I could do, I don't know, I go through metrics and I actually find out that Baldur's Gate 3 was most popular, Elden Ring was really popular. You know, guys, I'm starting to think about something real quickly. You know, Harmon starts to really hate on these games a lot, like really heavily a lot, just like with Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3. Something's telling me that Palworld might be fucking Game of the Year. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Who knows? To be completely honest, but there's a pattern that you guys got to start to pick it up like I am.
Right? We saw this with Temtem. We saw this with, we're seeing this now with Palworld. It is kind of a reoccurring thing with the PC gaming community, where every single time they think they can get away with it, they'll declare one of their games, some random game from some no-name developer that nobody cares about, as like a Nintendo franchise killer.
I do not see any online discourse saying that that Palworld is going to endgame Pokemon. Like, are you serious right now? You do realize Pokemon is the biggest franchise out of the whole world. I don't think a random game that came out of nowhere, and I mean, it came out of nowhere. It was really surprised to see this game sell like 6 million fucking units. It was absolutely bonkers. But my point is, it's not going to dethrone Pokemon. It's Pokemon is too ingrained into us that we can see Pikachu on a billboard and say, hey, that's Pikachu. There's no way in hell Palworld's going to do that. And if somehow Palworld does it, that's going to be very surprising. Also, Harmon, nobody wants Pokemon to end, okay? What we want is competition for Game Freak. So Game Freak wakes up saying, oh, you see this little indie dev over here putting some hard work in? Yeah, I think it's about time we start putting some hard work into developing our games.
Try to pretend as if these games have a massive audience on PC. You know, they're going to pretend that if Nintendo put their games on PC, they would sell like 1 billion units and like people would never ever buy their hardware again.
Harmon, not everybody likes the Nintendo Switch, okay? Not everybody is going to go rush out, buy the Nintendo Switch just to play these exclusive games. So why doesn't Nintendo just port over their big fucking franchises over to PC so people could stop bitching about it and just start playing their games? I don't understand why you're so against them making more money on a platform that is separate from the Nintendo Switch. It doesn't make sense to me.
You know, never mind that Nintendo makes a ton of money on their hardware and software. You know, never mind that they're highly successful at doing that. Never mind that they have no business doing that, that they have nothing but... that they have everything to lose if they went in that direction. Let's just pretend that Nintendo would be better off putting games on PC. It is disgusting, right?
They're already losing money anyway, Harmon. Fucking the success of Palworld for 6 million units sold on Steam proves that there is a market for people that want to buy Nintendo products. Do you really need to be spelled out for you that you know, Palworld's success is a market that has been left untapped by Nintendo? What kind of delusional world does this man live in? Because I want to live in it too.
Every time like an Elden Ring comes out, like the PC gaming community is there, you know, releasing statements about how Nintendo can't compete with this, how they're stale and outdated, how their hardware can't run these games, and how like, you know, random developers are going to step up and they're going to make like things that stomp all of these classic Nintendo IPs.
But we do need a new Nintendo Switch, something that can run these games a lot better. Have you... No, he probably hasn't seen it because he's blind as hell. Have you seen Mortal Kombat 1 run on the fucking Nintendo Switch? Have you seen Pokemon Scarlet and Violet run on the Nintendo Switch? Yeah, I think that's more than enough of a red flag to alert people, yeah, we need a new Nintendo Switch that's more beefier, that can run these games a lot more flawless than what Nintendo is providing us. And you know what? There is a lot of games out there that they do a lot better job than what Nintendo does. So cry me a fucking river, Harmon.
I've seen people like just scream about how Nintendo isn't any good, and that's why they need to release all their games on PC so they don't have to emulate them anymore. Like that's funny, isn't it? Like the narrative is always that the PC master race is just going to emulate all these Nintendo games, but they also are very insistent that Nintendo should release their games on Steam. So which is it, buddy?
I'ma plant me a dumbass tree!
And yet again, Palworld proves a point to everybody in this situation. There is a market here that is completely untapped that Nintendo refuses to tap into to make more money. But again, Nintendo's stuck in its old ways, so it's not really surprising that they do these type of things. It's really not surprising, and honestly, I don't see Nintendo changing its ways at all, to be honest with you guys. But then again, how would fucking Nintendo get its rocks off if it didn't decide to DMCA every single fan project that came across its fucking little table?
Like every single time one of these meme games come out, like the community rallies behind it. They really, really, really want to see whatever Nintendo is doing fail.
Nobody hates Nintendo. Nobody wants them to fail. We just want competition for Nintendo so they can wake up and say, hey, look, these guys put their biggest fucking effort into this. Maybe we need to start putting effort into our games. Because let's be honest, the last two Pokemon games, Pokemon Sword and Shield and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, have been nothing but a complete joke.
Gaslighting that goes on in these communities. Like how they try to convince you that Palworld is some unique, innovative thing that's doing everything that fans wanted Pokemon to do.
I love Pokemon Legends Arceus. That game was fucking awesome. It was so fucking cool. I made an in-depth analysis review of fucking Pokemon Legends of Arceus, and I was hoping and praying that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet would take everything out of fucking Pokemon Legends of Arceus and improve on the formula. No, what they did is that they took everything from Pokemon Legends of Arceus, maybe cut out 2/3 of the fucking what actually made fucking Pokemon Legends of Arceus, put it in fucking Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and actually made it worse. Palworld over here, Palworld actually takes that concept and takes many other games concept besides Pokemon and actually makes it a lot better and actually improves on the formula that was already present within Legends of Arceus while adding other things to it. Palworld is the fucking way that Legends of Arceus should have evolved into.
You know, one of the big things I'm hearing people say is that, like, oh, you can ride your Pokemon. You've been able to do that since the beginning, right? Have you never heard of surf? Like, bro, it's kind of a standard thing.
Bro, it's a standard thing. So now we have standards, Harmon? Now we do? Okay, let's see this real quickly. See, you only have one fucking sprite to where you can actually surf on things. In this game right here, I have maybe 6, 7, 8 fucking water types where I could surf, many ground types where I can make a saddle and I can ride them, many other flying types where I could actually fly in the sky, or I could actually use some of the ground terrarian fucking pals in this situation to help me mine items if I want to. There's so many other things that you could do within this game except just, I'm going to ride my Pokemon.
Right? Like, oh, you can craft. Don't you remember the Pokeball crafting in Gen 2?
See, that's the funny thing though, Harmon, because see, I actually play video games and I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about Kurt the Ball Maker. See, if you actually gave him a ball, you would actually have to wait a full, maybe an hour, a whole day, just for him to finish it. While I'm playing this game, it only takes me about 3 to 5 minutes, no, not even 3 minutes, I should say about a minute to craft me a fucking Pal Spear so I could get back to the game and actually play the game that I actually want to play instead of waiting on an NPC to craft me an item.
Is that, like, you can't even do the thing where you pretend that, like, oh, it's a big innovative new direction for Pokemon, because Game Freak already did that with Legends Arceus, which to this day is still a game that isn't generally accepted among the community to be great. You know, like, people don't want to admit that, like, Legends Arceus was fantastic.
You and what 5 Redditors say this, Harmon? Like, really? When fucking Pokemon Legends Arceus released to the public, I saw nothing but universal praise for this game. Maybe some people complained about the bugs and everything else, which is fair enough. But in the point, a lot of people wanted the Pokemon franchise, the mainline, to be like Pokemon Legends of Arceus going forward. But unfortunately, when Pokemon Scarlet and Violet released, we didn't get that. We got a downgraded version.
Like, Palworld is interesting because there's all these obvious problems with it, like the plagiarism and the glitchiness, the fact that it's in early access.
It's an early access game that runs better than Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And mind you, we only paid $30 for this, while you paid about $60 for fucking Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And it's somehow, some way, and God Hercules, whatever the fuck you want to say it is, it runs better. Also, not one of you Nintendo fanboys or Pokemon fanboys have brought anything to attention that they're supposedly plagiarizing Pokemon. Not one of you have brought one good argument to the table.
A lot of YouTubers release all these statements that, like, oh, I'm enjoying this a lot more than Pokemon, even though they don't play Pokemon.
What proof do you have, Harmon? Seriously, what proof do you bring to the table to say that these fucking YouTubers that say, I enjoy Palworld more than Pokemon, don't play Pokemon at all? Please show us some proof, but you're not going to, as usual.
It's amazing seeing people, like, kind of cling on to, like, the alleged player counts and the sales. Like, oh, it has 900,000 players at once. Nobody cares, okay? Nobody cares.
It'd be funny if it weren't so pathetic. No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.
Really? Really? Are you sure, Harmon? Are you sure that nobody cares? Are you sure? Because there's a certain little tweet that was tweeted on fucking X that Nintendo posted this in a reply to people enjoying Palworld. Yeah, keep telling yourself nobody cares. Please keep doing it while fucking Nintendo is coping on fucking Twitter. And I'm not really surprised. They're coping too, and it's fucking tasteful.
Talk about the actual game. And nobody seems to do that, right? Like, that's the thing that really sticks out to me about Palworld, specifically at this point in time, is that nobody is talking about the game. They're talking about how Pokemon is dead and how Game Freak isn't going to be able to compete with this.
Harmon, there is plenty of people on Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, all making Let's Play videos of this. I even streamed this fucking game for a solid 5 hours, and then after that, offline, I played 20 hours by myself and with friends. People are playing this game. They're not worried about the numbers. It is impressive for an indie dev, a small indie dev development team, to create this game, and it just explodes like this. How could you not talk about this? Especially when they put a multi-billion-dollar company to absolute shame.
No, let's push this narrative that, like, Palworld is way, way above what Pokemon is doing, even though it's, like, blatantly plagiarized and it isn't doing anything particularly new or innovative. Let us just pretend that this is some top-tier game simply to spite Nintendo fans.
So you're going to explain to us how it's exactly plagiarizing Pokemon in this situation? Or here's a better one yet. Have you actually played the game, Harmon? Have you watched Let's Plays of this game by any chance? Have you sat down and say, I wonder why people enjoy this type of game? I'm actually kind of curious of why people are acting like this. Let me go watch a live stream, or maybe I should get my high quality PC that you supposedly say that you have, and maybe buy this game $30 on Steam right now, and just I don't know, maybe find out why people are enjoying it. But no, you gotta sit here, do these type of videos and say, no, it's just a bad game. They're just trying to attack Nintendo. Ah.
When you look back at, like, just the sheer...
Excuse me while I decide to vomit all over my PC right now after seeing him go like that. Oh, God. Ah.
Right. After Gen 8, there was, like, this very real push to kind of destroy Pokemon, destroy its reputation in the online space, and it never really stuck. Right, it completely fell off once Sword and Shield came out and were great games, right?
No, they weren't. Especially that fucking Dex exit is still alive and well, especially after Game Freak just decided, well, we're just gonna ignore them and just gut all the Pokemon, and then we'll just add them later as DLC. Yeah, no, Sword and Shield was not a good fucking game. Even though it had my favorite Pokemon in there, I'm still gonna say Sword and Shield was pretty fucking shit in my opinion. Especially when you fucking, oh my God, the bugs in that. And the story, oh God, don't even get me started on Sword and Shield. It was an absolute mess of a game. And the fucking audacity that Game Freak decided to release it to us for $60 is an absolute fucking crime.
If the primary group of people who are complaining about your game are 30-year-old man-children, right? When your game is targeted towards, like, 10-year-olds, right? You know that these people aren't relevant to the discussion.
Do you even process what you say before you say it? Because you sound fucking stupid.
Harmon, your opinion doesn't matter in this situation too. You want to know why, buddy? Because you're a fanboy. Nintendo love people like you because any type of criticism that you give them is not existing in this situation. And it's really funny in this situation too that you want to grill people for giving criticism to your favorite franchise when they're only trying to make it better. And honestly, people like you only make gaming spaces worse in this situation.
And I think Game Freak is doing a very wise thing in just kind of doing what they've always done and sticking to their guns and producing new and interesting Pokemon games, right? Like, I don't think that any of the points raised about Game Freak, about their alleged lack of visual quality, about, like, the alleged quality assurance of the game, about, like, the features, the mechanics, like, everything about that. Like, I don't think any of those arguments really holds any merit at all.
Do I seriously need to reply to this segment? He just proved my point in this situation. Your opinion doesn't matter in this situation anyway, Harmon. You're just going to throw money at them without even a care in the world. And am I really surprised in this situation? No, because the many, many other times that I've covered you, well, it kind of proves, that you just don't care, buddy. And as long as it's got the Nintendo symbol of approval on it, you're like, I'm cool with it. It's Nintendo, so I'm just going to gobble it like a fucking moron.
Like, I think it's safe to say that Palworld isn't going to be relevant long term. Like, I think the novelty is going to wear off. People aren't going to be able to, weaponize it against Pokemon anymore. And when that happens, the game simply will have no audience. Because that's what this is all about. It has nothing to do with wanting to play this game. It has everything to do with talking down to a video game IP that is made for young children.
You still haven't learned your lesson yet, haven't you, Harmon? It's kind of funny, though, because you said the same things about Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3, and yet those games turned out to be Game of the Year, and let's just be frankly honest here for a second. He's coping and seething this freaking hard like he did with Baldur's Gate 3 and Elden Ring, guys. Something tells me that Palworld may end up being Game of the Year, and that would be freaking amazing if it does. I would be really shocked. But then again, I could be wrong. Who knows in this situation? But it would be hilarious to see Palworld win Game of the Year just so we could see a live stream of freaking Harmon losing his freaking mind. It would just be absolutely hilarious. But anyway, that's it for the video, guys, and thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'm pretty exhausted. It's probably like 12 o'clock right now, and I'm probably not registering in my headset right now. So anyway, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later, fam.